Martin, first of all, congratulations. Tomorrow's going to be your 1000th game as a manager. How are you feeling about reaching that milestone? And did you ever think you were going to make it?
Well, two things. One, it's a real surprise because I'd never counted the games, genuinely never. So, when the LMA told me yesterday about it, it did come as a big surprise to me. It's nice to do, and it's really pleasing. But yeah, I have to thank Celtic for doing it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. So I didn't know that was the amount of games, or the number of games, I should say, left to do. If I'd counted them up, then I would have definitely asked some football club, could they have me in to just cover the rest of the games. So, anyway. But it's nice.
It's obviously some game to mark the milestone as well, a big European night at
Yeah.
Celtic Park. Yeah. How far do you think Celtic can go in the Europa League?
Right, okay. Well, that's this is a major test for us tomorrow. If you'd been having a conversation with me, which you might have done, Yama, about after Michelin, we would have got long odds about being here this evening. Anyway, for a start. What I've said in the past, we went to Feyenoord, got a great result there. Fought with 10 men for about 60 minutes in the match against Bologna. So I didn't want those games to not count for something. So we beat Utrecht and we're here. So we might as well give it a go. Stuttgart are flying at this moment. They're fourth in the Bundesliga. They're in a Champions League position. I've had a look at them, and they're very strong, physical, and got a lot of good players playing for them. So there'll be difficult games for us, but while we're there, just let's go for it.
You said a couple of weeks ago that there's no point being in it unless you're going to win it. Is that the message and the attitude that's going to be relayed to the players to really go and give this a good go?
Well, I'm answering your question in a roundabout fashion. You've asked me the same question twice. In that sense, I think that, you go into competition, and when you start off, I think you dream about the final, and then reality hits you very, very quickly. I wouldn't have thought that we would be thinking in this competition with the teams that are still left in it, including our opponents tomorrow night. I don't think that anybody's thoughts of, I wouldn't even know where the final is. Where is that? Istanbul. Well, it's a long way away. A long way away, I don't mean in terms of geography. I mean a long way away in my mind. Let me put it this way. The two things may well coincide. But I just let us see how we do here tonight or tomorrow night. There'll be really difficult games. If Stuttgart show their sort of Bundesliga form, there'll be difficult evenings for us.
Just a final one for me. The last time Celtic won a knockout tie in a European competition, you were the manager. 22 years ago against Barcelona. What are your memories of those couple of games, and how eager are you to really try and put an end to that long wait tomorrow?
Right. Okay. So, was it Barcelona? Was the last time? Was that John Hartson?
I think it was Tom's
please. I've gone. I'm really sure.
Marshall's second leg.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Okay. I remember him in goal. Right. Okay. It's a long time ago. I didn't realise, and I was responsible for some results in those days as a manager, both good and bad. And but please don't blame me for the intervening 23 years or whatever it may be. I wasn't around here. I'd like to try and. It would be nice if we could do that. It genuinely would be nice. I'm just having a bit of a joke.
Martin, just on the milestone of reaching 1,000 games, if you sort of reflect over the previous 999, is there one in particular in your mind that if someone was to say to you, a particular game, is there one that is a standout for you that you maybe think of more than others? What would that be?
Last Sunday. Yeah, it was. I think there was. There have been some obviously some great moments. There have been some not so good, like everything else. But yeah, I don't. I genuinely have not thought about it. Please, I know it'll be old hat in a couple of days' time, but if I think of something, I'll tell you. You know, but there've been some great days in that there, and as I say, some days that you don't want to forget.
I suppose there's that old manager cliche that the next game is always the most important, but that will feel like the case going into Thursday night, that your full focus is on this game tomorrow and how you can progress in this competition.
Absolutely, you know, we're in it. We might as well have a go, and I think that's what we want to do. We know it's going to be a difficult game over the two legs. If it had been condensed to one, you never know. But yeah, it will be difficult. But let's I want to be positive. We will be, and we'll try and get off to a half decent start. That would help us.
You did well to get the results you needed to get through in the league phase of the competition based on where Celtic were when you first came in. Do you feel, given the work that was done in January, the squad are in a better place now to compete further in Europe than they maybe would have been before the January window? Well,
if Michelin was my maybe third game, and it was an eye opener for me, just how physically strong they were. I'd seen Michelin a couple of weeks earlier against Nottingham Forest, so I knew it was going to be difficult. But when you're actually there, live, involved in the game, you realise, well, you know, we've got a lot of work to do to get up to that sort of standard. And then, you know, we go and surprise everybody by winning in Feyenoord. We played really, really well in the game, and I thought that coming from a goal behind showed a bit of character. And then we carried it on in Bologna. So I don't want us to be fearful of the games. You've got to go in with some confidence. And if we didn't get a lift from fighting back on Sunday, then nothing would give you a lift. That was great. Now I'm accepting the fact there's a European night and a side flying in the Bundesliga. But I think you should just leave that aside and let us do as much as we can for ourselves, you know, rather than considering what the opposition might do to you. That's my point. Your second point about whether we're stronger, we certainly. I think that yes, if you think that in Michelin, say it was my third game in charge, just getting to know the players, things like that. I think that we do this, and I think that the players that we brought in have in little spurts have brought something to us. You know, Thomas makes the goal in the last minute, scores at home here, makes the goal against Hearts. Junior scores as well too in the Dundee game, keeps us alive, and so they've all played little parts. But it has not been easy for them to come and settle in. You know, Thomas hadn't played a great deal of football before that, so I'm hoping by the end of the season. That they would have made some mark here and made it worthwhile for them.
Martin, on Sunday at the end of the game, there was a great moment of unity between the players and the supporters at Rugby Park when Arauco went into the stands. Some supporters are still banned from Celtic club games at the moment, as you'll be aware. We gather there was some discussions held about that. It's backing that I dare say you could benefit from on a big match like tomorrow night. Do you know what the latest is on the talks with the Celtic supporters, and also how regrettable is it that we'll still have empty seats at Celtic Park tomorrow?
Yes, I'm agreeing with you. I think that a full house here at Celtic Park is something special. It's every European night that I've had in the past, way back then, was just filled with special moments. You know, teams where I think generally, and I'm talking about the really major sides, were still very, very concerned about coming here. You know, the passion, the drive, and the noise it's made. I remember here our game against Liverpool in that UEFA run. John Robertson, my old friend, was standing beside me and speaking to me. I couldn't hear a word he was saying for the first 10 or 15 minutes. It was so loud. So, yeah, little bits have been lost from that, and that's regrettable, to use your word, I think. And I'm hoping that, I think there has been some discussions, which I'm obviously wasn't party to, but I hear that I think that there's been some progress made. But as I've been saying this here, the sooner soon that there is unity at Celtic Park, the better for all concerned. We had, I have no doubt at all that the crowd behind the goal on Sunday contributed greatly to us fighting back in the game. No question about that.
And just on your 1000th game, I know when you came for your second sort of interim stint, if you want to call it that, you were quite adamant that you would just be here till the summer, but with every passing week there's more victories and there's more progress in competitions, you're cutting the gap at the top of the league. Is there any circumstance come the summer where if the club wanted to look at maybe a sort of continuity appointment, given how tumultuous the manager upheaval's been this season, would you be open, now that you've been in Celtic for the second time a while now and you've had a look underneath the bonnet, would you be open to continuing your stay beyond the summer?
I really genuinely think that's too far in the future for me. Genuinely too far in the future. I wouldn't think it. And you mentioned about the 1,000 games. If you'd seen my early matches at Leicester City in late 95, early 96, you'd have got long odds of me doing 1,000 games in that time. So, but back to your point, I think that it is far too far in the future. It's like, to me, it's a long way away, and how I might feel today might be totally different in 10 days' time. We've got a lot of games here. We've got a lot of work to do, and if we fall by the wayside, which we could easily do, I don't think we'd even have been having any sort of discussion.
Martin, I wonder, in your previous experience of these European competitions, what can a run in the latter stages of a competition like this do for the confidence and competitiveness of your squad?
If I can throw back to 2003, I thought it was terrific. We were definitely very, very focused on that at the time, and obviously domestically, Rangers and us were vying for almost everything at that stage. They were very strong, and but I think that the games. I think probably after Liverpool game, I know it's we're now into the semi-finals, but then it was like a total focus on that and trying to see if we could come out and win the competition. And at the same time, the battle with Rangers was raging every single week, and there just didn't seem to be any respite. But I felt as if the squad that I had there could cope with the games. I think that was the major thing, and that they loved. Those boys loved playing European football.
Do you feel like you're in a similar position now? I mean, the fixture schedule is very congested. Do you feel like this squad can cope with the same demands?
Well, please, this is not an excuse for me. Far, 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 far from it. But by 2003, I knew my squad inside out. I knew what they could do. I knew what physical prowess they had. I knew what ability they had, and so I knew them inside out. So I, believe it or not, I'm still learning here about these lads. I'm all the time, and mostly excellent stuff about them as well too. But I don't know is the answer.
And last one from me: to what extent is this game against Stuttgart your toughest test in these two spells you've had at Celtic this season?
Oh yeah, without a doubt it would be. The toughest one, considering the position that they're in, considering the opposition, and considering the league that they are in as well too. So this would be pretty tough.
Mr. O'Neill, this is Philipp Meisel here from German news outlet Stuttgarter Nachrichten. Mm-hmm. Would you please share some more of your thoughts about your opponent tomorrow and your opponent as a manager, Sebastian Hoeneß in particular, please?
Yeah, well, way back in 2003, when I was a much younger man, we had the two games against Stuttgart, who were a very fine side. Now we won the first game 3-1, and Stuttgart had a man sent off as well too, so that obviously helped us. And then we scored two early goals there in Stuttgart, so we were flying at the time, and we thought, this is going to be fine. We were hanging on at the end in the game, and Stuttgart, I think they had a chance about 10 minutes to go in the match, and had they scored then, another one would have put us out. So that's, from an almost invincible position that we were in, to be hanging on at the end. Now Stuttgart were a very fine side then, so for us over the 2 games to come through was big news for us.
Thank you.
And as for the present team, just as I mentioned earlier, there it's not. I watched them, but we've had scouts out watching them live, and the reports coming back are the same things that I see for myself on the screen. Really, really, really fine team.